Hey everyone, welcome to Mediation Talk. Here with now, we change it to Mediation Talk MD with Michael and Diann.
Yeah, I was going to say we were 3 seconds into the brand new show here on YouTube, and we got the name incorrect already.
How was that?
Well,
then go ahead.
We've graduated actually. For those of you who actually found us here on YouTube, welcome. But Mediation Talk has graduated from just the airwaves to now the video and airwaves of YouTube, Spotify, and anywhere else we can figure out a place to broadcast our show. And we have went from Mediation Talk to Mediation Talk MD. Because I don't think I'm going to be a part-time guest anymore. It looks like I'm going to be doing this all day.
I think you're no longer a part-time guest. I think that you are my partner, not part-time, but partner, and we're both co-host.
Yes. So that
this isn't like Diann Wilson anymore. This is Diann and Michael.
Correct.
Michael and Diann, MD. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah. So that is where the MD comes in. I'm a juris doctor, so I'm not a medical doctor, but our catchphrase for this show can be a legal prescription for your legal, or a vocal prescription for your legal woes.
Whoa, and I'm not a doctor at all, but anyhow, I can't misrepresent the MD part of it because that stands for Michael and Diann, right?
Mm-hmm. It is our initials.
But I am a mediator.
And I'm a mediator.
And you're a mediator because why are you a mediator, Michael?
Because you trained me.
Yeah, and so therefore you're what? A good mediator.
One would hope.
Yes, a good mediator. And we're just so happy to be here. And we are here at the Biltmore. Can anyone see Camelback Mountain behind us? Whoa, beautiful. And we're sitting on my patio. And we're just waiting for golf balls to come by. And we're going to be able to resolve disputes here if they hit it. Oh, they're golf carts go by.
That group just finished up. As we hit the record button, there was a guy, I don't know, maybe 15 feet behind us chipping back onto the green. So hopefully we won't have any aerial attacks.
Well, if we do, then you can go out and dispute them. We don't tell anybody you're a lawyer, though, because it gets scared, because we just have to say you're a mediator. People are afraid of lawyers.
I do have my lawyer hat, and I have my mediator hat, and then I have my everyday civilian hat.
Right, but today you are a mediator, and you're a radio talk show host here on Mediation Talk MD, and we are on
YouTube.
YouTube. YouTube, right?
Yes.
Why do people get YouTube and YouTube all confused?
Okay.
I don't know. There's a station, YouTube station, because we wanted to go live, and we also wanted to be able to take this on the road and be able to really see a lot of people and interact with them. And we've been invited to go a lot of places. But the first place we came was here at my house.
Our introduction show, kind of a welcome to us. This is who we are. Thank you for joining us. And, what are you expecting out of this content? Why have you tuned in to us today? I mean, your time is valuable. I mean, you're going to spend 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour with us. Maybe just a minute and you go, what do these two know? Let's get out of here.
They know. Let's just go.
But hopefully you get past that initial step, and then you can actually learn something.
Right.
And maybe take some of the skills that you've heard here today and put them to use in your own life or a dispute or otherwise.
And people want to know, what do you do? Like, what kind of disputes? Well, we resolve just about everything and anything, from that golf ball coming onto my patio to the dog barking next door to the guy smoking. He's not supposed to smoke, but his HOA say he can. There's a lot of things that people just don't understand what disputes are and how to resolve them. And that's what we want to do, whether it's divorce, separation, whether it's business. And Michael is a great business lawyer. And how did I meet you, Michael? Long time ago.
Yeah, no, we can step back here and get back into our backgrounds a bit. But we came together, a unique pair that we may or may not be. But as Diann mentioned, I am a lawyer. Despite my young appearance, I am in my 11th year of practicing law. It even sounds weird for me to say that, albeit 35 years young. I tell myself I'm old. I tell Sarah that I'm old, but I'm 35 years young or old.
Sarah is a significant other that he fake proposed to 5 times. Okay, so what else? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that'll be
in.
another YouTube channel probably. And potentially maybe a family mediation if things like that keep up, which could also be discussed on this show. But anyway, several years back in my legal career, I formed my own legal practice. I actually used to work right over there at a different office, but I was tired of litigating. And we will get into the subject of litigation on this show.
And the difference between litigation and mediation.
And my abhorrence of it. But
right,
anyway.
He hates it. I can say he hates it. His father hired him. His father was the one who put him into practice. They still talk, though.
Oh, yeah, no, he's a litigator. I mean, if I get a matter that I don't want to deal with, who do you think I'm going to send it to?
And I send cases to him.
Yeah.
Several cases I've sent to him.
But
thank you, Mr. Irish.
Yeah. For anyone out there wondering, the day of recording today, it is March 11th,
wow,
2021.
Yes.
And so anyway, jumping back and forth, for people out here, this is the first show, but you'll probably notice a pattern over time. We're a little bit discombobulated. We jump back and forth. Diann sees something shiny. We go off topic, and then we have 5 minutes of discussion. And then we go, why are we here again? But anyway.
But I always bring you back.
Yeah. So anyway.
Always bring you back.
I will try to drive this ship the best I can.
I know.
But, I can only do so well with my navigator here.
Well, we've been doing this together. You've been on my show so many other times, but I've been doing this a long time in a studio. Okay, and probably not very planned. I've had people from professors to politicians. I even had Joe Arpaio. We've had tremendous guests on the show, and I hope we do the same thing. And we learn from all of them. We all do. And everyone tells us what their disputes are and what their problems are, and we learn a lot. So part of this is to educate, and we're an edutainment show as well, so we will have fun doing this because it doesn't always have to be serious. Right, Michael? No, knowing him, it won't be.
Well, some people will say, "Oh, he's a lawyer. He's always serious."
Yes, he's always serious, and I know a lot of.
But then there's
jokes.
people that know me, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm pretty carefree and laid back."
Yeah.
It depends what it is, and then I'll decide if I want to be serious about it or not.
Well, we're mediators too, so when we walk into a very serious mediation, we have to put on our mediation hat, and we have to do the part of what? Being great listeners, understanding the problems between both parties, and what? Not be one-sided. We got to be neutral. Neutrality is everything. Lawyers talk and talk and talk, and they do not let their clients talk. We want our disputants to talk. We want to hear what they have to say. What are you laughing at, Michael?
Lawyers talk and talk and talk, and I 100% agree. I mean, people call me for my opinion, and I like to freely give it. I mean, that's why they're asking me.
Yes.
But I was laughing specifically because we're talking about talking and talking and talking, and we are doing a podcast.
Is this what this is? A podcast?
Well, it's
Okay.
a vocal show that we are discussing things on.
Right.
And so it was ironic that, lawyers just like to talk and talk and talk, as you said that over here.
Like I don't talk and talk and talk and talk. I told somebody one day I talk because that's what I do for a living.
That's what I do for a living.
And that's what you're doing for a living.
I also draft paperwork and whatnot too, but part of my job is talking.
Well, you did. You drew up a very great contract for my daughter's company, and I appreciate that.
Driving us back to where we were several minutes ago.
Right.
Okay.
Coming back. We always bring you back.
Back, and I gave the context now. We're here in 2021. Back in 2018, so long ago, when I was a much, much younger lawyer, when I left my father's firm, I decided to start my own. And for the viewers, we're too far zoomed out, but there is definitely some gray hair here. That's because of all the litigation I had to deal with. Well, I don't use the Just for Men, and I probably never will.
And if I pick one out, you're going to have 10 more come in.
It doesn't bother. The grays don't bother me, and I'm a guy. I could care less. But my mother, for instance, we have to dye our hair all the time.
You're going to bring Abby into this.
Why not?
Poor Abby.
Big A's great. Why would we not bring Big A?
Are you going to say Abby dyes her hair?
Big A dyes her hair.
She does.
Oh,
Big A.
yes.
Okay.
Because there's been some snafus in history, and we had orange hair one time. That was an oopsie moment. But anyway, I don't know.
You're telling me stories about your mother now. Hey, I let all mine grow out, and it took 3 years. So I got these grays, by the way, and they're not gray. They're silver.
So
But anyhow, I think your mother's going to be happy to know that you let the whole world know that she dyes her hair.
well, yeah. Well, I mean, we've already thrown Sarah under the bus. My mom
no,
under
you
the bus.
threw Sarah under the bus.
I mean, we're gonna. It sounds like just everyone in my life is just gonna get ripped on as part of our adventure here.
I could throw my daughter under the bus. Already, she's mad at me right now because I gave my granddaughter sugar. She's really mad.
I know,
but you settled that dispute
I'm gonna
today.
eat all of it. Don't worry about that.
I gave all the Skittles to Michael because I can't give them to Maddie. So anyhow, Michael did a video today to Ann and said that he would do a contract to make sure that I do not give her any more sugar when she's swimming, 500 yards or in her IM. Anyhow, that's okay. I'm just the grandmother.
I'm not so sure anyone's going to adhere to those terms anyway.
I'm just a grandmother. I should never go against my daughter's wishes, and that's a good resolution. Just don't do it. Just listen to what she says. I am just a grandmother. She's the boss. That's how you have to be, right?
If that's how you want to mediate and resolve your dispute, that's how you can choose to do so.
Listen, we have grandparents come in, and they bring their kids in, and they're all upset because they're not being able to do it with their grandchildren or that with their grandchildren, and they want visitation. They actually go to family court over this stuff. They do. These are the kind of cases we have, everybody.
As we alluded to earlier, any type of conflict can be resolved via mediation if the parties are willing to compromise.
Well, they have to be willing disputants, right? And we have to be neutral, right? So that's exactly right.
So anyway, in order to avoid conflict a number of years ago when starting her business, Ann, your daughter, contacted me via the Arizona State Bar website because I'm listed in the contracts and business attorneys. And I don't know if she was one of the people that admitted this to me, but my picture is on my profile.
Oh,
and I have had people tell me they've hired me solely based on my picture, which great. But I would like to think that I get hired from my legal acumen, knowledge, and experience.
Oh, no, if that's Ann, she picked you for your picture. And she was hoping you had a brain.
Well, I do.
And she knows you have a brain. She says, oh, my God, he's not only good looking and cute, he also has a brain.
So anyway, Ann
and
called.
You looked her up, too.
Okay, I'll tell you right now.
Took her
you call me
so
for
pretty.
legal advice, I'm going to look you up to make sure you're legitimate. Because I'm not going to risk my own practice out there with a phony or a scam or something of that nature. But anyway.
So Ann actually told you that, huh? Okay, that's
she
fine.
might have, or it might have been another other people. She wouldn't have been the first one.
See, everyone, this is how we go. This is how we do. This is how we are, which is fun.
So,
anyhow.
But anyway, Ann called me with her. I guess I can disclose what it is now because it's up and running and has been for years. Her equine psychotherapy business. And I will be the first to admit, when she called me years ago with that, I didn't know what it was.
Right.
All I knew was, and as most contract attorneys will tell you, oh yeah, it's a contract. You got two parties and then they write down the deal. Done. Which is true. But I get a little more involved in my deals, and I kind of like to know what's going on because there's some extra provisions I need to stick into this contract based on the nature of the business.
Right.
So I talked to her about it, and I'm thinking about horse therapy. So first I had to figure out what it was. And then I'm sitting there thinking, oh, okay, there's got to be all kinds of extra insurance involved because what if the animal goes nuts and runs over somebody? So anyway, luckily I'm not, on the board of directors of her business, and she's got her own broker and takes care of those things. But she asked me to do a form contract for her. So anytime she got a new client, they could figure out what type of services they were going to offer. Both parties would sign. And here we are 3-4 years later. And she is still using the same form contract that I put together, and her business is flourishing.
Right. She's got a lot of contracts, and as far as the horse therapy is concerned, she actually has clients that she gives psychotherapy to, and the equine psychotherapy is a means to use horses in order to work with some of her clients. So it isn't that they're given the horse therapy, which you thought. She doesn't go out and hypnotize horses, Michael.
Well, no, and I never really thought that. I mean, I figured it was a human business that involved horses somehow, but
Yes.
I had no idea that you could use horses to rehabilitate humans.
Oh, they do, especially on EMDR. She is specialized in, which is desensitization. I can't get into it. She's going to like really call in on this show. But anyhow, she does do an awful lot with vets on post-traumatic stress, trauma, a lot of child abuse, a lot of adult, situations where you have a lot of dysfunction. So she does a lot, and I'm proud of her. But anyhow, we're going to give, we're going to give a shout out to Ann's Business today and Ignite Equine. Anybody go
Look
go
them up
her
on Instagram.
Yeah, she's on Instagram. She's everywhere now because of Marshall, her beautiful new marketing director. So look her up. Ignite Equine.
Is that their Instagram name?
That's her name, and that's her Instagram.
So
Instagram name.
Our show, Mediation Talk MD, we don't have an Instagram yet. Maybe we'll get one.
I thought we did.
No, we have a YouTube channel.
Right, okay.
And in all honesty, I don't even know what our YouTube channel link address is. I mean, it's youtube.com/blah, blah, blah, MediationTalkMD, I'm sure, something of that nature. But if you're watching us right now, you've already found it.
Probably.
And so, and I could probably get creative and say something like, or you could just click the link right here. And on the screen there
we'll have some props the next time to put up.
We'll have
they have to be backwards.
We can have physical props,
right.
And then once I get a little more creative with the editing software up there, I'll probably be able to put digital props in.
Oh yeah, we'll have a fun thing like that.
Like, I mean, maybe once in a while, and I say this, I could have a little animal flying by above us or something.
Well,
we've
got them out here. We've got a lot of them out here.
Well, I mean, I know.
Our real ones. Okay, yeah, we have those. We have bobcats out here. We have coyotes back here. We have a lot of things. We got a dog. We got Bets the dog here.
Oh, I didn't mean for you to jump on
me
when
see,
I said that.
Because she's very well trained. She likes you, Michael. But anyhow, as far as getting back to the show, anyone that has a dispute, it can be resolved. And what do I always say? What's my thing? I take the
Let's take the emotion out of the commotion.
We should have a little jingle for that.
We could make a soundboard.
We can do. We take the emotion out of the commotion. I actually copyrighted that word. It's copyright. It's trademark. I own that. Somebody said to me, how can you take the emotion out of the commotion? You cannot mediate a case if you're emotional. You can't. You got to tell them, take the emotion out of it. First of all, we can't mediate if there's emotion, right?
You got to have a level head in order to be able to think clearly and make a decision.
Right.
And someone that is angry is going to have their focus on other issues elsewhere or otherwise and not be able to think logically about the problem that's in front of them, and they're going to be distracted.
And bring up the past.
Yes. And so that type of person...
He cheated on me, she cheated on me, so what are they coming in with? A pound of flesh. They're still mad. They're still angry. And we'll talk about what we have to help. We have a toolbox.
We've got all kinds of toolbox.
Yes, we have a toolbox. And in our toolbox, people that we can send those people to. Therapists, financial specialists, tax consultants. Because we don't fix the problem, guys. We just help you resolve it yourself. Right, Michael?
Well, that, and I was going to say, there are a number of tools that people can use to help themselves. Skills they can develop. Interpreting and learning about bias, things of that nature. There are all kinds of skills, persuasive writing and language, and picking up on these things, picking up on signs of other people. There's the,
I carry duct tape around. That's always good for people to have, to just put duct tape on their mouth.
You be quiet.
Just put the duct tape.
Yeah. I can mute your microphone, but that's a little different.
That's in my toolbox. I actually told somebody, I told a judge in municipal court one time that he said, "How did you get your client to behave herself this time, Diann?" And I said, "I just have duct tape with me." So that was always a joke.
Just threaten her with it.
Threaten her with it. I got the duct tape, and I ended up giving him a roll of it for Christmas, and he gave me a roll back for my birthday. So that's always been an in joke about the duct tape. Just have the duct tape. So where are we going with this?
Well, yeah, no, I'm going to circle back again. We'll probably do that a lot on this show.
Yeah, we do a lot.
We're a tangent type of team. But circling back, after I did the work for Ann, you called me one day
Yeah, why?
And I don't remember if you had a legal question or something of that nature.
Oh, I had a referral for you.
Something.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting to talking a few times. You learned about my background in college being a radio show host on a sports show.
Yes, I loved
and
it.
immediately you're like,
Woo!
I have a radio show called Mediation Talk. You should come on as a guest.
Immediately.
And so we did that. We had a great show. I'm sure it's still online somewhere. We could probably find it. Maybe put it down in the comments somewhere if we could figure that out.
Yeah, we do. As a matter of fact, you came on with Vesna. Was it Vesna that you came on with that day? Or was it with
the
Scott
first
Beamer?
time I think was, I was going to say Scott Boomer, but yeah, Scott Beamer.
Scott Boomer.
Yes.
Scott Beamer. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, Scott was there. We did that show. It was fun.
It was with
good.
Dave Pratt. It was Dave Pratt. With Dave Pratt and Kyle was my producer.
Yeah, with a
Yeah.
KNX.
Kyle. No, that was KFNX I was on
KFNX.
for a long time. That was before Dave Pratt got me out of there. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I did that kind of a guest appearance. That went pretty well.
It was wonderful.
We stayed in contact. I think I might have done one or two other legal things here and there for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came on as a second guest. That went really well. And that was probably December of last year.
I just saw that.
Or 19-ish.
I just saw that video.
About a year ago.
2018, I think it was, or 19.
But anyway, it was at that time that you had asked me if I wanted to, think about coming on as a recurring guest.
Yes.
And then the COVID happened. And I'm going to just say the COVID.
Yeah.
Everyone will know what I mean.
Everything happened.
Well, in all reality, the COVID is still going on. I mean, I don't see any COVID on the golf course right now.
They don't wear masks out here either.
COVID's
No.
not allowed on this golf course.
No.
That's what I heard. There's a sign out front. You didn't see that?
No.
COVID, you're not welcome at the Biltmore.
Well, no, they're not. But people are here. They're not allowed to be here.
So anyway, with the COVID period, the show went on pause.
Big time
A
pause.
year or so ago.
Yes.
And that was when we've been having some lunches and a lot of discussions as of late. And
then we did the training.
Well, that was last summer. Yes,
Yeah.
that was separate and apart from talking about the show. But and I don't want to take necessarily all the credit, but I will say that it was a little bit of my idea to say, why don't we use YouTube?
Well, I had no idea I would even do a YouTube, and I thought this was great because I've been waiting for other things to happen without going into detail right now. So when you said YouTube, I said, yeah, okay, let's just do a YouTube channel.
Well, and
it was his idea, by the way.
And by going with YouTube, we can do whatever we want, whenever we want, without the help of any other party.
And I can say asshole of the week.
We can do that. We can say any type of language.
Yeah.
I will tell you, because you're not aware of this, when I do upload the videos, I have to write on there if they're children friendly or not.
Okay.
And so we're probably not going to have a quote unquote children friendly show. But that's just a little funny side tangent I wanted to mention.
Well, I know when Maddie came on my show, I think she was 5 and 6 years old. She came on because I was kind of like taking care of her for Ann. And she said, can I get on the show, Grandy? And I said, well, what are you going to talk about? She said, kids need mediators too, you know. Kids need mediators too. So we couldn't play the asshole of the week because she was on the show. But she knew about it. And we made her put her hands on her ears.
What type of mediations did Maddie have?
She talked about kids in school and how she has to keep them apart and keep them from fighting.
Okay, we're talking about schoolyard issues.
Yeah,
okay.
Schoolyard issues, people cheating, wanting to take her work away from her, borrowing things and not giving them back. So she was really good. She spent a really good maybe 5 minutes on the show.
Well, I thought maybe she might have had a problem with perhaps one of her parents and the lack of sugar in the diet.
No, but in the show she said, my daddy puts a whole cupcake in his mouth. So that was on the show. She said that. And they kept playing it over and over and over again.
And I was thinking of...
I'm going to get in so much trouble with that, Michael.
Well, and not necessarily Maddie, but just expanding, because this actually is a reference to my family so many years ago. Parents and children have disputes all the time. And I know in my house growing up, the answer was, because I said so.
Oh.
And I didn't get a seat at the mediation table back then. It was a dictatorship. And the quote I wanted to refer, my cousin said this. I will not take credit for this because I always do think this is funny. But when my uncle would deny my cousin something, it was, the government's shutting me down. And obviously, the parents are the government, and they have all execution and control.
So who would say that? Your cousin?
That's my cousin Will.
Mm-hmm. He would say the government shutting me down.
Referring to Uncle Brad specifically. I want to do this. No. Oh, the government's shutting me down.
That's funny.
So I like that one. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But now we got it too because I said so. Because I said
that was
so.
how I was raised,
Yeah.
and I don't have children yet, and at some point Sarah and I will probably get there.
It's because you have a lot of dogs.
Yeah, so it's 2021
Cats.
now, but you know, if you're watching this 10, 15 years from now, future children of mine, because I said so, it's still in effect. So get used to it.
Well, we hope that happens, Michael, because we can't handle any more fake proposals. Okay, so
why not?
we won't get into that. He has given. Well, there's another show, and I don't even know how to resolve that or even dispute this matter with you over this whole thing, if it is a dispute. But he has proposed to this beautiful girl 5 times. Fake. Gets down on one knee and ties his shoe. I mean, really.
She's still around, so I mean,
she's still here waiting.
Must be doing something okay.
Yeah, I think so. And she's delightful. We have to have her on a show someday.
I will say, she has admitted to me that she really just wants a cool last name.
Oh, she wants your last name.
She wants my last name, yeah. Irish. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, and he's not even Irish.
St. Patrick's Day coming up in a
yeah,
week.
I know at our training program, I usually say to people, tell us something about yourself that nobody knows. Of course, Michael says, I'm not Irish, which I thought was really funny.
Well, and it's odd because
that's his last name, everybody.
It is my name. My name is Michael Irish. You can Google me, and Arizona attorney. All kinds of good stuff will come up. But one of the first things people want to know is that your real name. Yes. Are you Irish? No. And I don't know why that's so interesting to people. It's not like I'm not pale skinned with, what is it, freckles and red hair.
Like me with skin cancer all over me and operations
I
everywhere.
don't have the traditional Irish traits, if you will.
You look Italian, but you're Jewish too.
I'm a mixture of all kinds of things on my mother's side, and then my dad is adopted, so we have no idea.
And I'm totally Irish and German and Scottish somewhere, but more Irish. So I will have a St. Patrick's Day party, and you're invited, but Sarah won't eat the food.
What else is new?
I know. He tastes the food before she eats it. I love it. He's her taster. So I'm not going to poison her. But anyhow, get back to the show. Like we always circle around again. There's going to be a lot of things we're going to be doing, and anything you want to comment, I guess you can do it on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
On what you want to hear or say. What do you want to have results?
Yes. So we're not at this point yet. We're not big enough, but at some point down the line, we could potentially do a live show. And so we would be doing a live stream for wherever location would be. I could have the laptop up. Someone could write a question to us, and we could talk about it on air.
Sure. I've done that.
We also have the ability to take a phone call. So to the extent we get a live show up, we could put a phone number out. My phone's over there somewhere, but we do have the ability to plug it in here or even Bluetooth it. We can turn you on, have you right on here with us. We can hear you on the headset, so everything will be recorded.
And we can turn you off really quick, too.
Yeah, yeah. We have a little mute feature real easily.
Yeah, real cute. I mean, he can mute me anytime he wants, and I can mute him.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff like that. But what's my other favorite one? You didn't do the asshole of the week yet, though.
That's on the other soundboard.
Okay.
Plus, we're not into that segment, and I haven't really thought of one for today, just on the intro show, so I didn't really worry about it. Maybe I'm the asshole because I didn't think of one, so I'll swap in.
We have a song. We actually have a song, so you have to listen for it.
Yeah,
it's
we can play that later on.
Yeah, we can do that, and we have Larry David, which is one of my favorite, and he has him on there too. So listen to Larry.
Which is also your phone ring.
That's my phone ring. That's my phone ring. Yeah, I like that. And you also have him saying the other thing we always say.
I've got a number
Yeah.
of things on here.
Yeah, he always says.
So.
But anyhow, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, we'll get into those as they come up in discussion. We
But
can play some of
anyhow,
that.
this is fun. I hope everyone likes our background.
Today,
I haven't been looking around because I don't want to take my eye off the camera, but what's it look like back there?
it's nice.
Nice. Anybody coming?
It's your patio. You live
Yeah,
here.
well,
You
I
know what it
don't-
looks like.
I know, but is anybody back there now?
I can actually see on the little tiny screen we've got up there. There is some dots, but if you turn around, there are 3 guys putting on the green right now.
See, and then another time we can go out and talk to them, which I will do
See,
when they come by, if their balls get close to us.
well, see, I'm wondering, and this is a true story, by the way. I was not born at this time, but my uncle and aunt, Dan and Gabby, when they got married way back when in
You have
Palm
Gabby
Springs.
and Abby?
Yes, my grandparents made that decision.
Gabby and Abby. I love that. Okay.
But at their wedding, which was probably around 1980 or so, it was at a country club on a golf course. And it was right in front of the 18th green, which on that course had a water hazard in front of it. And right in the middle of their reception, like there was a moment of silence, and my dad remembers this crystal clear. You hear the swing, you hear the ball go in the water, and then right as a break in the ceremony was going, you hear a, "Oh shit!" right as the ball flies in the water. And my dad, I remember he goes, everyone heard it, everyone started laughing.
Oh, that's too funny.
So maybe
that would be funny. Did they get it ever recorded, or was it just like too bad they didn't have
was
videos then?
1980. I
Yeah.
wasn't born yet. I mean, you
Yeah.
tell me what was going on back then.
Well, no, they did have videos then. They may have a video of it.
I don't think there's a video of that, but I'm sure there was the technology.
When were you
back then.
born?
I was born in 1985.
Oh, wow. Okay.
When were you born?
Well, 1946. I'm a baby boomer.
Baby boomer?
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yes. Bill was born in 1931, June the 6th, D-Day.
Yes.
Yes, he'll be 90.
So
90. And you are what? X generation? No, you're after that.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we went through that whole time.
I actually,
on
I'm not.
another
I
show.
don't think I'm a millennial. I don't participate in that nonsense anyway,
Yeah,
because
okay.
I've always acted and been more mature for my age. I've never been a crazy party person, and I've always just been very calm. And so
You? Yeah, that's about right.
sometimes.
So anyhow, I think that this has been great.
So far,
And I'm going to sneeze. Nope, I'm not. This has been, the allergies are bad out here, by the way.
we're
Something's growing.
just
Whoa.
FYI,
Oh, there's a food cart.
Oh, we could call the drink lady over here and get some
let's-
curbside service.
Yeah, go ahead, call her over.
Well,
She'll come over.
I got a drink right here. Actually, we're just out of frame.
She'll come over. Yeah, she's cute too.
Well, if you've got money, then I think she'll.
I have to
sell
run in
you.
the house and get it.
Oh, well, she already took off. I mean, you can actually, the camera might be able to pick her up in the background here in a minute.
She'll come around here.
I really hope we're still recording. I think I can see the red dot
Wouldn't
up
it
there.
go beep 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 or something if it isn't
might,
doing it?
But we have headphones on and we're in the mics, and so
Yeah, we don't know.
a little bit of outside hearing trouble. I mean,
But it doesn't sound windy or anything. And
no,
my-
it feels great out here.
I know. It's nice. Yesterday was so windy. We were going to do it yesterday, but it was too windy. Everything was blowing
Wouldn't have
everywhere.
worked out very well yesterday. I'm glad we did a 24-hour delay.
Yeah.
Well, as I was about to say, we're at 33 minutes already, and the
Okay.
battery up there appears to be still alive. And I've
Okay.
got half my outline still to go, so
Are
I
we
think
still
we're
gonna
gonna
listen
keep. I
to
think we're
you
gonna
again?
keep plugging
Okay,
along for a
well,
little
let's
while
plug
longer.
along here.
So.
And we were talking about.
Whoa!
Oh.
Time out! Time
Okay.
out! We
Oh,
gotta,
okay,
we
boss.
gotta, we gotta do our favorite circling back.
Okay, circle in.
Because
Come on back.
I know we're okay, just the user.
He's
We're,
look
we're
at him.
only
Look,
here
look,
on the
look,
outline.
look. He has a legal pad. Okay, I don't. There's
I'm
mine.
very organized.
Well, yeah, he sent this to me today, and he said, "Can you tell my notes?" And I said, "No." I said, "Is it in English?" No pun intended.
It's the old Irish English.
I said, "That's Irish English." He said, "No, it's English Irish." I says, "It looks like Pig Latin to me." Anyhow,
I can read it. That's all that matters.
okay, what else is on the outline here?
Well, we're circling back. We still haven't even finished our bios yet. I mean,
Oh, my bio. You want to hear my bio?
I'll finish. I'll just finish off mine
Finish your
for
bio
anyone that's
about
still
your being a lawyer
that still
and all that
suffered
other
through
stuff.
35 minutes of our dribble.
Okay, go ahead.
But yes, I'm in my 11th year of real estate law. I've been a licensed attorney since 2011.
Wow.
So was it 11 or 10? I don't even remember. It's been so long. But I think I'm in my 11th year now. It's on the state bar website when I got admitted and all that good stuff. But yes, I practice real estate and business matters. Pretty much if you got a problem, anything involving property, I can help you out, or at least advise you or send you elsewhere, unless it's a lawsuit. I don't litigate. That was the reason why I started my own firm, to not deal with that type of brain damage. And segueing back to why we have the show, I want to resolve disputes, not start them.
Right.
And I've always been a fan of that theory, and it was kind of just fortunate that we ended up linking up later down the line, because the stuff that you've been preaching on the air for 16 years, as I'm prematurely getting into your bio, is what I've kind of been on the same page my whole legal career. I've never liked litigation, and I no longer want to do it, so I started my own practice, and now I resolve disputes instead of starting them. I'm a transactional attorney, and I've gotten my mediation certification because I'd like to further that portion of my career to resolve more disputes instead of starting them, and look at that as another avenue for my business.
Exactly. Not only that, with the mediation training that you did get with your certification, you're also very, very likely to do an awful lot of training because you have an awful lot to say, and being used as a guest speaker in some of the mediation training that we offer. And that is one of my ballywags, is the training. I love training. I like to do mediation training, and I also love to do the youth conference that we've had for years and teaching peer mediation to our youth. So that to me is something that I think is so important, that we go into the schools and we teach these children or these students how to become their own mediators within their own classrooms, within their own home structure, and learn how to resolve disputes and deal with that bully.
And,
You know what I mean?
well, and to the extent that those kids would like to further learn and develop those skills, they can continue watching our program.
Right.
And perhaps down the line when we offer training services, maybe someone of them will sign up
Right.
and actually become a licensed mediator and actually
Right.
take this career path that maybe they're just learning about it today for the first time.
Right.
Whatever today is out there in digital land, which you're watching our recording. But don't let that stop you. I mean, if you've got an interest in something, learn about it.
Learn.
Read about it. I mean,
That's exactly right.
I tell Sarah, and I don't want to pick on her any more than
Oh,
I will
poor
do so on this show. If you want to learn about something, we've got my friend Google.
Right.
And my friend Google's got the answers to
Yeah.
anything.
Yes.
And so,
But I still have an encyclopedia too, and I have Google.
well, yes, but
That's how old I am, Michael.
the
if you know.
the Google's a little bit quicker. But I mean, and I know you and I have our 2 a.m. conversations, but
Oh, yeah.
if you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you're curious about Mayan civilization, you can Google it. And then there is basically infinite reading material online that you can become an expert by the next morning.
Exactly.
And I mean, I'm not going to delve into the topics offhand, but I mean, if I'm curious about something one day, read about it over the next night or two, and then boom, give me a test. I'm ready to go. Like
Yeah. You're never too old, I'd say, to learn anything new. My God, look at me sitting in my patio with all this equipment out
well,
here.
and if you're interested in the topic, it's not work. It's not difficult to you. You enjoy it, and it's kind of like when we started off. We were only planning to do about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
We're at 39 right now.
That's until the camera stops.
We're still, basically
We're still
halfway through.
halfway through his outline that he made.
But we're having a good time. We're
I am.
enjoying it. And I knew this would happen with us, and that's why I made a very bare bones outline, because I mean, you can't see that. Maybe I'll upload a scan of my notes.
No,
so
please, I
people
won't. That'll waste time trying to read it.
Because it says
It looks-
bio, Diann line,
Yeah.
Michael line.
Yeah, I see that, but if you look at it, it looks like something that came off of a math quiz. There's lines and everything else on it. It looks.
Well, it's a flow
hard to-
chart.
It's a flow.
It's got.
Yeah, I know.
It's flowing.
Here's mine.
Yeah, I know. You made that. Okay. You like copied my notes. You're like, oh, okay. Cliff Notes
No,
version.
I didn't.
Keywords.
I didn't do anything. I had nothing on here. Legal issues, conflicts, outline. Look, the word outline. That's That's what I did.
So anyway,
I've been doing this a long time.
well, I know you've been doing
you
this.
can tell.
Well, and that kind of wraps up my background. I mean, and if anyone out there has a specific question for me, we have an email. I think it's mediationtalkmd@gmail.com. We'll put that in the comments. You can ask us a question in the comments below. We'll either respond. Maybe we'll talk about it on a future episode. But that's what we're doing here. Our job is to give you some information. We're here to educate you and have some fun along the way.
And we'll promote you. We'll give you a shout out.
Yeah,
we're happy to
if you want,
that.
If you want some promotion, I mean,
we can be a sponsor for you.
I don't know. Well, that's entirely different as a sponsor versus I've got a
Well,
legal
that's-
problem. Let's blast me on the air, promote me
Okay.
that way.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But anyhow, Michael, I've always been so excited when you come on the show and your training and everything. You're just delightful to be around.
Bets,
and you're a lot of
by
fun.
the way, everyone.
This is my dog. She went up here. She doesn't know what I'm doing out here. I think she went back to in the house, and I can't get Bill's attention to come and get her because we don't have our staff here yet.
Oh, our people.
Our
people that we referred to.
Our people aren't here anymore.
In some of the promos, we still haven't even hired our people yet. We are our own people at this point in
I
time.
asked somebody to come by and help me today, but I didn't know what need them to help me with because you had it all under control very well. Very good.
This stuff. Yeah, no, this
This is
stuff.
easy.
This is not. Well, I'm old, but as we already talked about, but I'm young enough
You
to
are
figure out how to
young
do
enough.
this.
You are young enough.
Although we are just in the recording stage right now, I will have to figure out and finalize the editing aspect
You'll be
of
doing
this.
that all hours of the night. That's what he'll do. He'll
Well,
call me. I'm here. I'm still doing this.
It's pretty fun.
Watching Back to America and half of this, which I watched too, by the way.
I liked it.
They've
I
been
thought the first one was better.
I thought they were both fun.
Coming to America with Eddie Murphy, a little Amazon Prime plug there.
Yes.
Just
I think that they
released
had some
a week ago
dispute-
today.
Yeah, they had some mediation to deal with too in the second one, if you remember. They did. They were having some conflict, and the little girl came in and she resolved it. So I have to watch it and see.
Well, I was gonna say we don't want to spoil it
We're
out
not
there
gonna
for
spoil it
anyone
for
that's
anyone.
seen it,
No.
but
It's a good show.
Well, I mean, as we've alluded to earlier, there is conflict or can be conflict in just about anything, and so that's why it's good to develop your mediation tools because they're not necessarily just for mediation per se; they're for everyday life.
That's how to live.
Exactly, because everyone's going to have conflict whether they want to or not. I mean, you can go to the bank and the teller gives you a weird look, and then
Everyone.
blah.
Yeah, put your mask on. Why don't you have your mask on? I mean, that's a conflict right now.
That's
I
it.
went to get water yesterday because I fill up all these jars of water because I don't have the right actual purifier in my kitchen for that anymore.
We can take care of that for you off air.
Right. Yeah. So anyhow, I fill up these bottles in this water place, and they're just really gung-ho about not wearing a mask. But the last time I went in there, they were having a QAnon meeting. and I can't talk about that on the air, but they were literally having a QAnon meeting. And I had a real problem with that because they were telling me not to get the vac. They were anti-vac people. They were this. So I called in and I said, I don't know. They're sending all this propaganda out. It became a dispute to me. Really was, well, you didn't wear your mask during training, but anyhow, DJ let you know about that one, but then we'll get back to that. So anyhow, I called in, I said, this woman, and they're just like all this propaganda, but her answer was this: if you don't get your vaccination, I'm not coming over, I'm not seeing you and Dad, and I'm not bringing Maddie. All right, I'll go get it. And so that was it. Then I read more and more and more and listened to a lot of people. So what the heck? I went and got mine.
Yeah, well, and that's just one example of a conflict, and that's a great example of a current conflict: the mask issue, maskers
Big
versus
time.
anti-maskers, and blah blah blah. And there's arguments on both sides, good, bad, whether it's healthy, unhealthy, and blah 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 blah. And despite the MD in our show title, we are not medical experts, but we can talk about the issues that arise with regards to that.
And we can get medical experts.
Well, and one of the things that is timely right now with regards to masks is that we are located in Arizona, and as of today's date, we have is it still statewide mask mandate out in public?
Yes.
But yet, I know Florida and Texas and maybe Missouri
Texas said no.
completely
mask.
have abolished mask mandates.
Which kind of confuses me because the governor of Texas said no mask, everything's open. In the meantime, he blames Biden because of the border and all those people coming in the border that have COVID. That just doesn't make sense that they're in Texas and have COVID and he's not letting them wear a mask. So what's that all about?
Well, I was going to talk about how you were starting to veer off tangent a little bit because we're going from masks and then border patrol security.
I do that because we subject search.
As I steer us back into the topic.
As he steers us back into the topic.
The issue is, or at least with the timeliness of that stuff, is who's right, who's wrong with regards to the mask. And so, what is it that you could do to compromise and live with it? And so there's no right or wrong answer. It depends what state you're in, or even if the state has one rule, the establishment that you're in might have another rule. And then, do you want to follow it as an individual, or are you going to abide by the mask law? Is it on or off? I mean, there's no right or wrong answer. And so,
don't you think it's an individualistic thing?
That's exactly what I was going to say, and this is why we're a good team. It's up to you and how you're going to evaluate the choices that you have in front of you, and you're going to make your own decision. And the things that lead you to that decision are all of the things that we will eventually talk about during the training, but there's your internal biases, your internal experiences, the past history that you've encountered. I mean, there could be any number of issues that have occurred in someone's life that we don't know about that may or may not, lead them to wear a mask religiously or not wear a mask for the same reasons. And
well, just like in the training, we talk about biases. And one of the other things is, as a good mediator, we want to get to the interest of what is bugging them and what's bothering them. We can't be mind readers. We have to listen and listen and listen carefully to what they're saying and try to think what that interest is of why that person is against the mask. Maybe they have a reason that we don't know about. It's not going to be my concern to go out and see somebody without a mask on and tell them about it if I'm wearing one and I'm allowed to wear one or not wear one. Do you know what I mean? It's not my business.
Yeah, you could get uromycetitis poisoning and die.
Right, exactly.
Do you know what that is?
What?
It's a Seinfeld reference.
Oh, see, you're a Seinfeld person.
Well, okay, but we both know the genius behind Seinfeld was
Larry David.
Mr. LD.
Yeah. I'm feeling pretty good.
Pretty.
This is me when I'm not wearing a mask. I feel pretty good.
Pretty good.
So. I used to say that pretty good. I can still see him doing that. Yeah, I love it.
Well, the show's still on. I mean, it's. I think there's at least one more season coming out. LD, if by some reason you're watching the show, LD, we'll be glad to have you as a guest.
We could get him. Hey, we're resourceful. We're resourceful.
Well, I mean, we could probably definitely help out with the Mocha Joe dispute.
Yeah. Big time. Yeah, we could do that.
So there are any number of silly conflicts on that show that we could work out.
Yeah. And that's what we're going to bring up.
You're stupid.
You're more stupid.
You're much stupid.
A lot of problems with Larry.
No, you are.
So.
But no, I think it's true. I think it's everybody has their own individual reasons. When you have a dispute and you have two people sitting in a room and you're going to say, hey, what's going on here? And you're listening and you're thinking, why don't they just resolve this? But as a mediator, you've got to be so neutral and you got to listen and you just have to make sure that you don't ever take, I don't like the word sides. I never did, or pick sides. But you have to be there. If you're confused by what's going on, take them out, do a caucus, and we'll get into all of that later. I learned all of my skills through an awful lot of training that I had at Pepperdine. And Pepperdine to me, and Susan Bullfinch always teases me, you are such a Pepperdine snob. I said, no, I'm not a Pepperdine snob. I just happen to like Pepperdine. And the Strauss...
And the beachfront aspect of it?
Well, I never got to go to the beach because I was way up on the hill in Malibu.
Oh, with that nice beach view.
With that beautiful beach view. But the school, the Strauss Institute of Mediation, is probably one of the best mediation schools in the country. It really is. And they teach you everything from your introduction to your impasse, which we really learn an awful lot. And I've gone there for years and years and years, and I'm very proud that I have that status with the alumni at Pepperdine. But the training you get there is one thing, but the training that you really get is on your own experience in dealing with mediation. That's where it comes in handy on an everyday situation, either at home or in a workplace. that you're able to resolve disputes and use some of that good training that you would get even if you took a communications course in college, or we all did, or we had to do something to make us have better listening skills. So that's the whole key, is listening.
So for those of us, for those viewers at home, either watching on their computer, tablet, iPad, or maybe someone's streaming this in their car as they're driving to work or something like that. How long have you been a mediator?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Oh, I guess I've been mediating since 1973.
And how did you get involved in the
And
the
I
world
got
of
involved
mediation?
in mediation when I was a young woman that was put in a position.
You're not still young?
Oh, no. This was a long time ago. Yes, I'm still young. I'm young at heart. And I had represented the governor's office of Pennsylvania, which is the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and as an administrative officer, which I had to handle disputes with affirmative action, cost reduction, all the department heads. So as a result, I had to do this when mediation wasn't even a buzzword. Okay, Diann, this has happened between departments. Go straighten it out and get everybody together. I don't care if it's the Attorney General's office, I don't care if the Department of Treasury or whatever. So I started doing that at a very, very young age until I started to get really good at it and being able to come in and resolve major problems in the governmental aspect of where I was working. And it worked out. And finally, as things progressed, you're still doing mediation and copyright infringements, helping people get to a resolve with an awful lot of things that they were being infringed upon. And all that government background kind of helped me go forward. And then working in the jail systems and helping people when work furlough and work release, and then a judge saying to me one day, you need to come in here and be a mediator in courts and go and take this course. I don't know what he was talking about. So I said, okay, where do I go? I mean, my background is criminal justice studies and psychology, for crying out loud. So I went to Pepperdine. And I took the 40-hour course training with Kate Otting, who's my guru, and I love her to death, and we'll have her on. She's been on my show. And then I went up to Pepperdine. She said, okay, I'll get to Pepperdine. I go up to the Pepperdine School of Law in the Strauss mediation. And next thing you know, I got involved in all the organizations. People start calling me. I don't know how I get these people. I get craziest cases you ever hear of.
Some people might see you on YouTube.
I had a case where this guy had a pig in his backyard that he took in for his neighbor, and they had a fight because he said, I raised the pig, I want the pig, you can't have the pig. I literally had to go in and resolve the difference of him getting his pig back. I'm not kidding. These are the kind of things. Because he was going to literally shoot the guy. And I mean, I had to get the sheriffs involved. These are real disputes. People think are serious and are causing such stress for everyone. So we can go on and on and on and on about all of this. But my thing was the students and learning how to resolve, and got very involved with the Arizona, youth conference here. As chairman, worked on it for years with some of our good friends, Susan Bullfinch and a lot of other great people with the with the Association of Conflict Resolution, and also the National Conflict Resolution. So there's an awful lot out there now, more and more and more about mediation than we ever heard about before. So we're here to talk about them, and I'm happy to do that. That's in a nutshell. Me, in a nutshell.
Fair
Anything
enough.
else?
I mean, it's your life.
And you get to know a lot of people.
I mean, you would know more about you than anyone else.
Yeah, sometimes I don't want to know more about me.
If someone else were to know more about you, they would be classified as a very, very good stalker.
You think, huh? Yeah, probably. But no, we've also along the way become very resourceful. It's good to know people that you can pick up a phone and say, hey, I need this, what do you think? And they're there for someone. And then you're right there, vice versa. That is my toolbox people. And a lot of it's behind the scenes. As you know, a lot of it's behind the scenes.
Almost everything I do is behind the scenes.
Yeah, pretty much.
As the lawyer, I'm silent and unheard of.
Yes, you are. But you're a good lawyer. You're direct and to the point. But you can't be that way in mediation.
Can't be that way on YouTube either. Otherwise, we'd have a 4-minute show and we'd be done.
You think? Yeah. Who do you think is going to be watching us?
This episode,
Yeah. Who do you think?
Sarah, my mom,
Oh,
and maybe 3 or 4 other people.
3 or 4 other people?
Yeah, I think it's going to take a little bit to grow our
Are we
audience.
going to get Howard Dorman?
I mean, if we send it to him.
Are we going to give him a plug now? He's an attorney.
I think
He's
he
good
just got
friends
one.
with him.
Got one whether he wanted it or not.
Yeah, Howard. You said you'd come on the show.
Howard just opening up a brand new criminal practice at the Goldman Law Group, I believe, is where he's now located.
He started it. He started that criminal division.
Within the last month or two, I believe.
I know, and he's in a big trial right now.
So
we had lunch with him last week, and he said, "Oh, come on." So we want Howard on here. We want Susan Bullfinch on here. Susan, you need to come on because Susan is really a great mediator. She's a great trainer. And she also teaches with Art Hinshaw. We have to have him on, Professor Hinshaw. Have you met him?
I have not. I've heard the name a number of times. I know who he is.
So we have a lot of people, our people, that we want to have come on here. We have a lot of funny people, too.
Yes. And
We had Joe Arpaio on. We had Joe.
I like Joe.
Yeah, we know Joe. You
Joe's
met
big
Joe.
name. Joe's a big name.
Yeah. Joe's good
Joe, as some people might say, is the cause of a lot of conflict.
Joe is perfectly he is resolved to that a lot, but you know what? He's a good guy.
I mean, well, and he's a good, I don't want to say conversation piece, but he is a good person to have on because he's got so many years experience within law enforcement, and all they do is deal with conflict.
I know when I had him on, I said to him, I don't want to talk about anything but you and tell us all about you. He says, I never had anyone interview me like that before. Because they're all talking about birth certificates and Obama. You know, I didn't want to hear about any of that.
Whatever was politically convenient at that
Yes.
time probably is. And so
Right.
your interview with him was not politically motivated. It was informational and
Yeah.
educational, as we're
Right.
doing now. And so, you know, he would probably welcome to something like that.
Yeah,
I
he
think
liked
most
that.
people would, because I think a lot of people, in addition to getting the exposure of coming on the show, are going to get an education.
Right. And then they can send this to their clients, you know.
Well, we have a conflict here. We have an
Oh, we have a
opposing
dog.
dog on the golf course.
Yes.
So how are we going to mediate this dispute?
Well, they're like, we got to get my dog and put her in the house. Is how we resolve it, or she wants to go after that dog.
Yeah, we're going to
But-
mediate this by you sitting on my lap.
Yeah, there you can.
There
just
we
sit
go.
on the lap. This is Bets,
Problem
everyone.
solved.
See, he knows the way around dogs. You do
Animals
because you
love
have so
me.
many of them.
Animals love me.
He has a German Shepherd. You have a cat. You have another dog.
Sarah has cats.
Your mother has
My
10
mom has like
dogs.
10 dogs.
Yeah, they all have dogs.
So.
But anyhow,
What I was going to say, circling back again as another
get on your outline. What are we
comment.
missing?
Yeah, no,
here?
we
Got
are
my
circling
bio.
back. Okay, that dog's gone. So Betsy, you're gonna
My
have to-
bio is so long you don't want to hear everything.
Oh, you want to hold? Okay. All right. Well, we're done with the bios, but I was going to actually get into what people are to expect from our show moving forward, because we're almost out of time, and I don't want to say we're out of time because we have unlimited time here on YouTube. We
Yeah,
can drop
there's-
as many videos as we want. They can be as long as they want.
And we can do that anytime we want. You know.
And so you just hit on one of the topics is guests. Our plan is to have a lot of guests. I don't know if it's going to be one a show, two a show, call-ins, take questions from people, whether they're, I don't want to say have an audience per se, but if someone's around and listening or otherwise, we do expect to have some guests, and we'll talk
Let
about
us know.
yeah,
Love to have you on.
what issues that you guys are facing, and how could mediation help you resolve those issues? And so there's a future segment of the show that we hope to bring forward. In terms of frequency, how often do we plan to do a show? I think our goal is to do about a show a week. And then
I thought we were going to do 3 times a week.
3 times. That's news to me.
Well,
We could, but
it's
once
on
again,
your outline.
we can.
No, it's on my outline.
I don't see it on my outline, but we if we want, we can do that, because for as much material that we can put out, as much content that we can create, it's just going to be better for you, the viewer database, because if you've listened to us for the last hour, and if you've taken one thing that we've said, and you can apply that to your life, your business, what have you, then you've probably made a pretty decent use of your time. Now, if you've sat here for 59 minutes and said these two are clueless, I mean, what am I wasting my time for? Maybe I suggest you go back and re-listen, because I think we've said some informative things so far today.
Go hire a lawyer and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to get nowhere.
But
hours and hours of litigation.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're out here doing this because we enjoy it and it's fun. But at the same time, we're relaying this information to you, the public, because it's useful. And you can better yourself, and you can kind of better things going on around you, because I don't know about you, but I don't want to deal with someone that's in a bad mood because they're involved in some other conflict that I have no idea about, but it's causing them to be angry or agitated throughout the day. And then I meet them at, for my meeting at Starbucks or wherever the case may be, and they're thinking about something else. Their mind's not even in the right place. So their external conflict is affecting me in my daily life. And so we don't have a direct correlation to say, what Diann said in the 17th minute is going to affect John Smith over there, and therefore when he meets me next Tuesday, it's going to be a better meeting. Exactly. Nothing like that. But once again, if you can take a piece of information here or a piece of information there and apply it and make yourself better and better the situation, it's just going to be better for everyone as a whole moving forward.
And also, too, one of the key things of mediation is the fact that mediation is a lot quicker and timely than in litigation. And it's also a little less expensive than hiring a lawyer. I mean, let's face it.
Significantly.
Lawyer fees are outrageous.
I'm a lawyer. I mean to cut you off, but I charge hourly for my time. And I charge upwards of $300-400 an hour. And I will tell you, that may be expensive. I'm a cheaper lawyer. I mean, I know people that have more experience than I can charge $500 to even, I've heard of $1,000 an hour for legal counsel. And you're just paying for experience at that point, but you're also paying for the fact that lawyer, like that professional service is involved. And it may be necessary, but there's almost always another way around the problem. And so sometimes you've got to just think outside the box a little bit and find another creative way to resolve your dispute.
Save that dollar.
And that can be done through mediation. So it's not always going to work. We don't want to sit here and preach to you guys, every legal issue, go to mediation, problem solved 10 minutes later.
No,
that's not always the case.
Not always the case, because I've had cases where we couldn't resolve them because we were at an impasse, and we'll get into impasse, and one party didn't want to do what the other party wanted to do, and we did everything we could to get to that resolve, but he jumps and walks out of the room and said, "I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore." What do we as mediators say? Okay, fine, we're done with it. They got to go to a lawyer. That's what happens. And guess what happens, everybody? The judge decides on the fate of that case. The judge has the final say. And so does your pocketbook. So I'm sorry, Michael, but I love the fact that you are now a mediator.
Well, and that's what I wanted to, and as we're starting to wrap up, I don't want to necessarily give off themes or messages that someone should take from the show, but we've been generally discussing the topic of mediation today and our backgrounds and what the show is going to come to bring to our audience. But in terms of if you want to take something away from today's show, what I would stress to everyone is mediation is an avenue with which you, the participant, have a final say in the outcome of the matter. Because ultimately, and you can attribute to this being in many of them yourself, both parties have to agree. Otherwise, you have no deal and nothing's been accomplished.
Nothing. And you don't make the decision for them. You help them make the decision. They are the ones that come up with the final solution, not you.
And so in mediation, you, the participant, have the control and have the authority to make that final decision. However, if you go to litigation or arbitration, that slips through your fingertips. And at that point in time, all you can do is argue your position and hope the trier of fact, whether it's a judge, arbitrator, or jury or otherwise, hope they agree with your position and take your side and give you the proper verdict, judgment, or otherwise.
My other prop that I usually have in my toolbox, I sit on the desk, is a scales of justice, Lady Justice. When you're mediating, that scales of justice goes under the table. We don't want her on the table for that, because what happens, the law is brought into every decision. So as a mediator, we could put that scales of justice and Lady Justice, hide her for a little bit, and we will help you come to that decision without having the law involved in it. Because once the law gets involved in it, then you're stuck in court. Mediation, arbitration, litigation, you're going to know all the differences. And it's not, I think mediation, it's not meditation. Somebody said to me one day, how can you have a show on meditation? I said, I don't have a show on meditation. You need to learn how to spell the word. But anyhow, that's true. People get it all confused. We've had that happen a lot of times. I did an article one time. I was doing a write-up in this local magazine. I said, mediation, arbitration, litigation, not meditation, can really be a pain in the butt, you know. But what you have to do is know the differences, and a lot of it can be very difficult if you don't mediate and you don't have the open mind to do that. I think that's great. Like you said, it takes two parties, two to tango.
Yes, and so if you want to have some say in the ultimate outcome, mediation is that way to go. If you can find, I don't want to say if you can find, if the other party you're dealing with also comes to that same realization. Because there are times when you have an unreasonable opposing party and you're not going to agree on anything, and you might have to go to court. You might have to get, we have another dog conflict here as we're wrapping up. No, but to that end, we've roughly laid out what our plan here is.
She never picked up the poop that dog just dropped on the golf course.
Uh-oh.
You know what? Now that to me is a conflict. That is. People that leave their dog poop, that's actually a pet peeve. What do you think?
Probably more of a pet peeve than a conflict should be mediated.
Oh, she saw us look back and she went and got a bag.
And the fact that we have microphones and headsets. We're looking over there and we're talking amongst ourselves.
And so she's hearing.
Maybe she's in the background of our view here.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, and she's picking it up. Anyhow, this is funny.
But anyway, circling back again.
She pretended to pick it up, Michael. I'm not telling her.
I wasn't paying that much attention. I mean, she's trying to fertilize the grass out there.
Yeah,
on
that's
the rough.
your answer.
But
there'll be another group coming out here. They're usually here, and they take the dogs up on the golf course, and everybody gets mad. And they call me because they think I can do something about it. Like, hello, you're an HOA member too. You go talk to them about it. I can't do that. So anyhow. This is funny.
Well, no. Anyway, but this is to be expected on our new show.
She's an asshole. The lady that kept the poop should have the asshole of the week.
There we go.
Seriously.
That's the call. Let's
it.
figure it out here. Is it?
Yeah. She's an asshole. That's not it.
No, and I don't know.
But sometimes
That's okay.
it just ain't enough to keep a man
Is this
like
not
me
it?
interested. Oh, no.
Asshole of the week?
No, I've gotta go.
It's her.
That's the asshole.
There we go. So anyway, well, I want to take the time and thank everyone for joining us today on our inaugural show. We hopefully think that you've learned something. Hopefully you can take at least one thing that we've said today and put that towards your useful in your everyday life. And anyway, moving forward, hopefully you can come to expect more weekly content from us, more education, informative things, as well as some entertainment. I mean, I think that most people are going to get a little bit of a laugh and a little bit of knowledge at the same time.
That's who we are. That's how we go, and that's what we do. But anyhow, I want to thank everyone for joining in today, too. And Michael, thank you so much for your dedication to this and helping get this thing all set up. I just can't thank you enough. And it's just going to be so much fun.
No,
I'm proud to have him part of this.
Likewise.
It's been so exciting. We've been talking about this for a year now.
Yeah. It's
1 year.
The COVID year.
Well, today marks the first year, actually, that the COVID pandemic started, because guess where I was in New York City talking to another radio show about mediation to bring it in to Day Pratt. That's what had happened. And then, boom, it went. So I'm excited
funny the
about
places
this.
we will go.
I know.
But anyway, the place you'll go now after you click off this video, who knows? But hopefully in about 7 days, you'll see us back here at a new location with a new topic and learn some more stuff and have some laughs.
And maybe a guest. But anyhow, everyone, I just want to say Hey, thank you for joining us today, and take that emotion out of the commotion with mediation, not litigation. Bye, everybody.
See you later.
Now, did you turn it off?
No,
Oh.
I can